Hi, my name is Elle. I'm a cross-stitch artist and designer here on TikTok, and I have been going through old comments and responding to questions and things like this. And this comment, can't wait for the 3/4 stitch tutorial, was a reminder that I never posted a video on how to do 1/2 and 3/4 stitches. So I'm gonna remedy that. Let's go. So here's a close-up of our training hoop. I'm going to start this off by saying that there are two different ways that I have seen people talk about half stitches, and we are going to talk about both half stitches and 3/4 stitches in this video because they are very similar. The first way that I have seen people talk about half stitches is just the single half like this that you would expect to see if you are only doing half of your full cross. However, this is not a true half stitch. This technique would be used for like shading in a piece. So like if you were making a piece and you wanted it to look like there was cross hatching or something like that, being done to add some shading texture to your piece, this would be a great way to do it. But this is actually not a true half stitch, and there is not a specific type of marker that you would see on a pattern to tell you this. You would have to read this in the pattern key and see this symbol means do this type of half stitch. So instead, I'm going to show you a true half stitch. And to do a true half stitch, we're actually going to start by doing, it's going to look like this, but we're going to fill in exactly half of our entire cross. So we're actually going to start with the small arm of our half first. So if you remember from our quarter stitch, we had all of these little 4 small arms coming together into the center. So this time we're going to do that. We're going to start with our small arm first. And again, we're piercing straight down into the middle. If you have not watched the video on quarter stitches, go back and watch that because this will make a lot more sense. So that is going to be the first part. And then we're going to come and draw up and do the rest like that. So that is a half stitch. Now, the reason I wanted to show you both the half stitch and the 3/4 stitch in the same video is because the 3/4 stitch is worked almost identically, but with one key difference. The key difference is that you're going to be doing the long arm first, and this is important to do the long portion first, because as you do the short portion, on this one, this short portion ended up underneath the long arm like this. On the 3/4 stitch, it's going to go over. So it's hard to show when I was that close up. I apologize. So we do the long portion, and this short portion is going to go over. So I'm going to push this fabric out of the way very, very gently with my needle, and then still go down into, if I could balance this, that would be great, down into the center. And the reason is because a 3/4 stitch is often worked side by side with another 3/4 stitch. So it's basically 2 half stitches that are going to be filling up this entire thing. So you want to be able to see the long arm of the stitch on both colors. Let me grab another color and I'll show you. All right, so now I've got some bright pink loaded up, and we're going to do the exact same thing again. We're going to be doing the long arm of this same stitch first, and see how if I hadn't pulled that thread up, they would kind of overlap each other and you wouldn't get to see both of these colors. So as I pull this down and I do the second half of this 3/4 stitch, I'm going to do the same thing where I use the tip of my needle to just gently push this down, push the pink away so that I can go through that same center spot with the pink now. And because of that, I have pulled those two that would have been sitting on top of each other to rest more side by side. So you get to see both of those colors. So that's the difference between a half stitch and a 3/4 stitch. So in your pattern, if you see two half stitches that are sitting right next to each other, you're going to work them in this manner. And if you see just one and this other half of your pattern is blank, you're going to work it like this as a half stitch instead of as a 3/4 stitch. Like I said, you're not going to see any special markers for this kind of stitch. You're going to see this kind of thing marked in your key, and it's going to say work it as like hatching or work it as just the first half of your full cross. Something like that will be notated. So if you do get my gym badge pattern, you're going to see a lot of these half and 3/4 stitches marked in the pattern. I use them a lot in order to give more depth and detail to the Pokemon gym badges themselves. I'm so sorry I didn't get to that tutorial sooner. I genuinely kind of spaced and forgot about it, but I really hope that that helps. And I hope that as you come across half and 3/4 stitches in your patterns moving forward, that you feel confident enough to do them really comfortably. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm happy to make videos teaching everyone how to cross stitch. Anyway, happy stitching. Bye.